Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari declared June the 12th as Nigeria's New Democracy Day, confers highest national honor on winner of the 1993 presidential election, Moshood Abiola. Police insist Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki is still under investigation in connection with the Offa bank robbery in Kwara State. House of Representatives resolves to investigate lawmaker Abdulmumin Jubrin over comments alleging that the PDP masterminded resolutions at the National Assembly's joint executive session. And double tragedy in Kenya as plane carrying 10 people disappears while search party gets involved in a road accident. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can see our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. And besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature. You can use it to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate a lawmaker, Abdulmumin Jubrin, over comments he made accusing the PDP of masterminding the resolutions of the House at the joint executive session. This follows a matter of breach of privilege raised by Honorable Sunday Karimi. Our correspondent Terry Kumi tells us more.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
The resolutions reached by the joint executive session of the two chambers of the National Assembly have caused quite an expected stir. But lawmakers were rather surprised to have opposition to their resolutions.
Abdulmumin claimed that all our meeting yesterday was a PDP affair. And members that spoke in that meeting were all PDP members.
Some lawmakers say they were being falsely accused.
It is an issue, Mr. Speaker, which Honorable Kazare raised, that Honorable Osai is a leading voice and a leading figure of collecting names to impeach Mr. President. Mr. Speaker, it would have suited me well and I would have been happier if I know that such thing is happening. One. And if I'm also a leading voice in the hallowed chamber, I'll be happy if I'm the one doing it. But I am not.
Whether impeachment of Mr. President or sponsoring a bill or a motion, those are part of the functions of a legislator. If there is an allegation outside your statutory function, then we can begin to bother ourselves over such issues. If we are not interested in impeaching Mr. President, you go to sleep.
Before ruling on the matter, the Speaker gives his reaction.
My ruling will be very simple, and I have a problem with members who don't come for sitting, and they absolutely don't know what we do here. But anytime a decision is taken, they're the first to approach the press in order to address them. That sitting of yesterday was open to all of us. If anyone felt that it was just PDP that was doing the sitting, he ought to have come and then raise his voice. I saw these members sneaking in and sneaking out without even canvassing a position.
The matter was referred to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges, which is expected to report back to the House 2 weeks after the National Assembly returns from its planned recess next week. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
In the meantime, the National Assembly has asked the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, to withdraw statements he purportedly made asking states that have passed anti-open grazing laws to cancel them. The Defense Minister is said to have made the statement after a meeting of security chiefs on May the 5th at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Our correspondent, Linda Akigwe, reports.
It's a day after the Senate joined the House of Representatives in the rare joint emergency executive meeting. The resolutions reached are still subject of public discussions, particularly the subtle threat of impeachment of President Buhari should he fail to address the resolutions passed by both houses.
Security arena of this nation.
As national debate rages on as regards the resolutions passed by both houses, the Senate is now questioning comments made recently by the Minister of Defense, Malam Mansur Dan Ali.
It was very strange to me that in the mind of the Minister of Defense of this nation, the only way he can solve the problem of hundreds and thousands of people being killed in the state of Benue and Taraba is that the law they made against open grazing of cattle, where you cannot control the conflict between herdsmen and farmers, should be removed.
I want to believe maybe the minister was carried away by the camera before him while he was speaking. Because in his home state, Zamfara, there is no anti-grazing law. And in fact, like Senator Gamade said, the killing that is going on in Zamfara is as much of the same volume as in Benue, or even more.
Advise the Minister of Defense to withdraw his statement on his call for the withdrawal of the anti-grazing laws in Benue and Taraba, as these laws were properly enacted in accordance with the powers of the state houses of assembly.
The House of Representatives also frowns at the comments made by the minister on the anti-grazing law in Benue State.
The House is also aware that unless there is no more rule of law in this country, that Nigeria as a federation with federating units and states, it is totally wrong, given the tenets of democracy, for the federal government to dabble into the affairs of states, ignoring the laws of the land in such a manner as this.
The House of Representatives has also resolved to ask the federal government to submit a supplementary budget to the National Assembly, which would include funds for financial assistance to the 11 states which have indicated interest to donate land for cattle colonies. Linda Akibu, Channels Television News.
Nigeria's future as a prosperous nation can be achieved by using science and technology. This is the view of the Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, at the official launch of the Northeast Humanitarian Hub in Adamawa State. He believes creative thinking can help the Northeast to mount challenges affecting the region.
Ladies and gentlemen,
youths from different states in the northern region, stakeholders and members of the International Committee of the Red Cross gathered to experience the official launch of the Humanitarian Hub in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. The Northeast Innovation Scheme is designed to harness technological ideas that will help bring lasting solutions to the problems faced in the region. According to Vice President Professor Osinbajo, the scheme creates an environment for Nigerians to think through the country's challenges and find solutions.
The way forward for our country is innovation and technology, and that the young people who we see every day, who are able to do some of these incredible things, represent the future of our country, and they represent it so dramatically, so graphically, that we're all confident that where we're going is indeed a place of great prosperity and abundance.
For the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, the federal government should be commended for its efforts to fight insurgency.
We know the pace and tempo of the counter-insurgency efforts of the federal government. We wish to observe that the war cannot be finally won until we succeed in curing or ensuring early recovery and stabilization of our communities.
The youths are also applauded for nursing the initiative.
The Humanitarian Hub has been made possible through a process of crowdsourcing ideas to find solutions for the current challenges.
Back at the Government House, The Vice President also took out time to interact with beneficiaries of another government intervention scheme, the National Social Investment Program.
For the first time in the history of the country, we are dedicating resources to a full-blown social investment program. The President was very concerned about two things. The first, unemployment, and the second, poverty.
As the dreams of several youths living in the Northeast have been affected by the insurgency, the launch of the Humanitarian Hub will help set the stage for them to have an opportunity to break new grounds in technology.
President Muhammadu Buhari has encouraged the outgoing Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, to win Ekiti State back for the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the forthcoming governorship election. The President restated his support at the start of the Federal Executive Council meeting today while bidding the former minister farewell to pursue his governorship ambition. Our correspondent Gloria Omezuke has this report.
Moments after President Muhammadu Buhari arrives for the Federal Executive Council meeting, he bids his former Minister of Mines and Steel and Ekiti State governorship aspirant farewell with a subtle charge.
I hope we will get Ekiti back for the party. The only time I was seeing the INEC chairman was to insist that voter education should be emphasized so that ordinary Nigerians will believe that the Nigerian elite respect them and that their PVC, is their status. Go and emphasize this to our constituencies. They can vote anybody across any party at any constituency.
Briefing State House correspondents after the closed-door meeting, the Minister of Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, spoke of a plan by the federal government to remove the tax burden on Nigerians.
So, for example, for VAT, there's to be exemption now for residential property, leases on rentals, transport for the general public, and life insurance. In the short term, of course, that means a revenue loss for the government, but we think in the long run that's the right thing to do. It's improving ease of doing business and reducing the tax burden on our people.
Minister of State for Budget equally announces a total of 9,400 beneficiaries of the Empower scheme, which will train Nigerians to become self-employed. In light of these, the present administration believes it has done very well.
The APC administration under President Muhammadu Buhari will have exceeded the promise that it gave to Nigerians.
In the days to come, the presidency assures that the challenge of unemployment would be holistically dealt with. From the presidential villa, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, leading independent oil and gas exploration company, Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC, announces a return to full-year profit in 2017. That's in a moment. Join us again.